Good afternoon and welcome to more MtMtE. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're talking about the toaster car. We're talking about a Scion XB. Now, any of you who don't know, the Scion XB is the square car. It's all squares, and it works. It works as a good car. The Scions were a really neat little series of vehicles. Yeah, I don't remember if there was a Scion A, but there was definitely the Scion B, the XB, and then the TC. And the TC was the fun little sports car kind of thing they had. But everybody remembers the XB because of its shape. It was such an odd shape, but for many people that owned it, it was a good shape. They absolutely loved it. And this is the 2005 model. And I'll point out some things that changed between the 2005 Scion XB and later Scion XBs. This is a nice little snapshot into the history of this car, and I'm glad that this was one of the vehicles that Transformers Alternators decided to cover in their line of toys, because this is one of those vehicles like the uh, like the Plymouth Prowler, one of the vehicles that just needed to be saved in some sort of fashion. I wish strongly that the Plymouth Prowler had a transformer. And if you know of a transformer that transforms into a Plymouth Prowler, let me know in the comments below, especially if it's that metallic purple. I love the Plymouth Prowler. I thought that was one of the cooler cars ever made, and I would love to have a transformer based on the Plymouth Prowler. I think that would be awesome. But let's get back into the Scion XB. A little back history on me and the Scion XB. When I came back from a trip in 2006, I had just finished my first year of college, and my family picked me up from the airport in a Scion XB, and I got to experience one of these square cars for the first time, just kind of riding around in the interior. And I'll let you know this, the interior of these vehicles, very roomy. You wouldn't think it, but you had enough headroom. We had people almost 7 feet tall riding in these cars, and they had plenty of headroom. That was the cool thing about these little cars, is it didn't feel little when you were inside of it. You felt like you had enough room to move around. You could shove as many adults as you wanted into this car, and it still felt like there was space. This was a fun little vehicle, and it's a shame that they changed it so much over the years. That's why I mentioned this is specifically the 2005, because the Scion XB changed after a while, and it continued to change. And I don't even know if they make them anymore. But this, like I said before, wonderful little snapshot. And so let's get into today's review on Alternator Skids, the transformer that becomes a Scion XB. And I am your host, Blind Prime, and this is my co-host Kream the cat. He likes to sleep. His job is sleeping. Do you want to? No, Kream, don't go that way. No, you're such a fat cat. You're such a fat cat. I've always heard stories about how orange cats got big, and I was like, no way can the small little nimbly bimbly Kream get to be a giant orange cat, and he became a giant orange cat. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right. So, if you like what you see here, you want to help me raise awareness for the blind, visually impaired by, playing with Transformers and talking about cats and things like that, then please hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, because I love hearing from you, my subscribers. I just, it makes me happy when I get comments. I always enjoy getting comments. So let's get into this vehicle and talk about it. It's a fun vehicle. I'm just going to come off the thing and say it right there. But it's also kind of a difficult vehicle to transform. It is not the easiest vehicle in the world to get the right shape of. I hear plenty of people always complaining about Grimlock. Never hear people complaining about this one. And I'll let you know, this one is a bit harder than Grimlock. All right, Grimlock's got a trouble with the folding of the arms, but this guy's got the problems in the folding of the doors and stuff, because he is one of the very, very, very few, actually I don't think there's more than just 3 or 4 of them, Transformers from the Alternator series with 4 doors. We didn't get 4 doors very often. Shock Blast, the one we talked about earlier, had 2 suicide doors. But so it made it 4 doors, but not really a true 4-door vehicle. This guy, Skids, is a true 4-door vehicle, and we'll get into that. But first, let's talk about it from bumper to bumper and go over its shape and stuff. And I'll talk about like places where I had some trouble transforming him because I haven't really transformed him in a while. So going on the front here, and this being a vehicle that I spent a lot of time in my life, like I felt every square inch of this vehicle over the years. I do enjoy it. I enjoy how close and how exacting they were when getting this guy built. The bumper on the front is spot on for the bumper on those cars. This one actually has the little lights in the bumper that not every Scion got. Not every Scion got the little lights in the bumper. You could get Scions that just had this big bumper on the front that had no lights in it. But if you got the upper model, it had a little light bar running in it, and that's what that is right there. And the little light bar runs across it. Coming up here to the grill area. Now these are really well done, and I counted them before. They had the exact same number of little grooves in this grill that were actually on the Scion XB. And that's how close to detail they were. The little Scion symbol right there in the middle. It's really nicely done. I think it needed to be shifted up slightly from its position, but overall really good. And yeah, I'm going to be more critical about this vehicle because this is actually a vehicle I know very well. Let's open the hood. And I did like the fact that this engine is just spot on the engine that I've seen under that hood plenty of times, helping my brother maintain his Scion XB, making sure the oil was correct and things like that. I've been in this engine plenty, and I do like the little engine they have. Now, I don't like the fact that it has a trouble actually locking into place. But that's because I had a little trouble transforming him. Let's slide that back in there and close this down. There it goes. All right, cool. Moving on over here to the other side. Now, we'll talk about the side that's the best looking side, because the other side here is a little mushed around the door area, and I just can't seem to get that to fix. If I pull this door open a bit. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Good grief. The door open. This was something that I disliked immensely about this vehicle mode, and let me open the other doors since we're going to talk about it. But before we talk about the interior, the wheels here, that's the type of hubcap or the wheel well thing that the Scion XB's got. They got this cool little swirly, spirally pattern, and I always liked it. I thought it was fun. But ever since I saw Uzumaki, I can never look at spirals the same way. Okay, let's put our hand through here. Oh, nuts. His front seats are very wobbly these days. He's been through a lot in his 20 years. He's been through a lot. Let's come on, stupid seat. Will you snap into place, please? Let me get this door open without damaging the runner boards and get this seat reconnected in here. Come on, seat. Come on now. Stupid thing. Will you reconnect, please? There it is. There it is. All right, cool. Okay, now let's open these doors without breaking the transformation, which we totally did. So, the things I would like to talk about when it comes to this guy, first off, yeah, there's the little side light that pops up. You can barely feel it right behind the front wheel. But since I've actually touched this vehicle enough, I know where that is, and I can totally feel the little nub that they represented. Funny enough, on this side over here, it's a bit larger. I think maybe on this side over here, it used to be there and it got ripped off, but on this side, it's still good. This guy's been through a lot of moves in my life. I haven't really treated him the best when moving. There have been a couple of angry moves, and he suffered because of that. But here we go. We got him opened up. Let's open up these rear doors too. Let's see. How do we open these doors again? Crap. Really annoying getting these rear doors open. Come on. Come on. Get that door open. Nuts. Did I just break my thumbnail? I just broke my thumbnail a bit. Let me get this rear door open. Come on. They open. Believe me on that. They just don't want to open today. If I can get one of them open, I can get the other one open, no problems. Just getting one of these guys open. There it goes. All right, we got one of them open. Let's go ahead and shove our finger through and push the other one open too. There we go. All right, we got the doors open. Now we can talk about it. All right. So first off, there is a negative with this vehicle mode, and that is that these doors are way too tight. For me, all these doors are really tight in their hinges, and that I understand that for the transformation and robot mode, you want these doors tighter so they don't go flopping everywhere. But when it comes to opening them, every time you open this front door, you're going to drag the runner bar below it out. And so, pardon me, you have to hold the runner board below the door steady as you open the door. They're connected on the same hinge, and I don't understand why that is. But, it is the design choice that Aaron Archer went with when designing this, and that is like the biggest negative to this figure that I can think of in vehicle mode is the fact that it's very hard to line the runner board up across the length of this vehicle because of the fact that it's connected to these doors, and these doors have a very, very tight hinge, which always opens the runner when you try to open the door. I think that had they gone with other things like, the Jeep Hound or Shock Blast or those where the runner board is not connected to the door hinge at all, I think it would have worked out pretty good. We just saw with the Prowl that the runner board's folded under, like with Siege Sideswipe, and that was the best way to do it, in my opinion. Connecting the runner board to the door just added a lot of problems, and I think with how this thing is made, they could have had the folding runner boards, and that would have worked out very well for this Transformer. All right. That being said, let's get into the interior because this is a really nice interior. First off, I want to talk about the exterior of the door. We got a handle there, and not really much texture-wise except a nice rearview mirror, and it's decent. We got some little different textures on the window to represent the tinting. It's a little texture at the top, and then on the inside of the door, we've got some really nice textures. This is the way the doors look. Trust me on that one. I felt the inside of these enough. This is the inside of a Scion door, and I really like that. I really enjoy how close to a real Scion they got with all the interior here. Now, this is an automatic. You could tell that because it doesn't have a gear shift in the center. And this is a weird one because they made the seats here a bucket seat combo for the front seats, where in the center of these seats is a console that isn't really connected to the seats. But they really failed that with this one, making it a bucket seat, because you can't really feel the console. You get some little nubs in there to say that's the console area between the seats, but it's not really that good. And I know in the real Scion XB, that's the place where the shifter was, the e-brake, and the little spot where you could plug your iPod in. If you didn't know this, when the Scion XB came out, it came out with a special little plug so that you could plug your iPod directly into the Scion, and that was really neat. And to this day, the iPod cord is still in my brother's Scion, and it's still connected to an iPod. He just never took the iPod out, and it just lived there. Even whenever we gave the Scion to a friend, they didn't take the iPod out either. They just put more songs on it and continued using it. Now, coming around here to the back, oh yeah, we want to talk about the fact that this is the first car we've talked about in this series that doesn't have a rubber steering wheel, and actually it's got the little sticks off to the side to do the turn signal and the windshield wipers. I thought that was just kind of an additional little, like, really? You put the stick for the turn signal and stuff there? That's neat. It's even got the little cubby above the glove compartment that exists in real life. There's a little cubby above the glove compartment that I always enjoyed. And yeah, they put it there. And that's neat. That's where you can put your parking tickets when you get them. Now to the back, we've got some really great door texture going on here. Better than what we saw with Shock Blast. And then the back seats are just about the same as the front ones, because the front and back seats weren't really much different. on these things, but this is a bigger back seat. This is a bucket seat, so it has 3 seats in it and 3 headrests, and they all come together nicely. And they even went so far as to etch in the middle headrest area, and I like that because if you didn't know, now if you don't own a Scion XP or never actually been in one, the center seat has its own headrest, but that headrest is folded down, and it folds flat with the uh, with the back of the seat, but you can feel it with your thumbnail that it exists, and that's neat. You know, it's just a little headrest that pops up, and that's fun. Now, the back of the front of the seats also very good, and this is one of the few vehicles that we get that actually has, you know, full seating on the inside, and I like that. You can look all the way through it. And then finally, one of the more interesting aspects of this vehicle is this big old back door that opens. You got to do it carefully because it wants to try and pull up other parts of the transformation when opening this door. But you can open this door by itself, and it opens the exact same way that the Scion XP door opens, and it's just neat. And you get his feet that are folded up against the back of the seats there, and not really much else going on. But you can still open that back door, and that is so much fun. That is just cool. There's even a little windshield wiper etched into the back windshield, and we can close that door back up. The license plate is on the back of the door, and it says Skids with an Autobot symbol. And then on the back bumper here, we've got the little part of the bumper that's etched away for the exhaust pipe. And yeah, that's basically it. The roof of the vehicle, flat and sturdy. You can feel the little runners on it where you could store things on the roof. It doesn't have like the side things to actually like put much up there, but it's still nice roof. Nice roof altogether. I did etch it out just a bit. There we go. And yeah, my overall ranking of this vehicle mode is it is one of the A vehicle modes. I'm going to give it an A minus because of the fact that the doors being so stiff and the fact that this transformation to get it into vehicle mode is annoying because you can get it into the to vehicle mode, but getting it a perfect vehicle mode is one of the more annoying aspects of this transformer, and makes it like one of my least favorite to ever transform or mess with because of that. And we'll go over the transformation tomorrow. I mean, I've gone over the transformation once before on this channel, but we'll just do a nice brand new transformation video tomorrow. But yeah, this vehicle mode gets an A minus because of how these runner boards work and how everything doesn't seem to just fit quite right when getting this door to shut. Oh my god, it's such a stiff door. It's such a stiff door. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I've been Blind Prime, and this has been my co-host Kream the cat, the giant orange fluffy monster cat. Who's a good cat? Who's a good monster? You're a good monster. Yes, you are. You are. All right. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, and please tune in tomorrow for the explanation on the transformation. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.